So my story doesn't have a title because I do everything at the last minute, and I just wrote this afternoon. I didn't bother to come up with a title. Hang on. I've told this story, or some of it at least, in a slightly different fashion before, but I thought it would be a good fit for tonight's theme. You know, at the age of 17, my life was neatly planned out. I was a high school senior, honor graduate, beta club, star student, National Merit Scholarship finalist. I'd been accepted for the fall at Mercer University, and nearly all costs were covered by various scholarships and grants. I was going to head off to Mercer, where I was going to coast through classes like I had in high school under the approving eyes of my professors, merge with a BA in history, magna cum laude, and head off to law school in a rewarding career. None of my teachers, friends, or family members seemed to doubt that that was going to happen in the slightest. But here's what actually happened. I was, in retrospect, probably too immature to be sent unsupervised out into the world. I may have been academically gifted, but I was also terribly lazy, unable to look out for myself, and cripplingly shy and socially awkward. You know, there's really something to be said for keeping some kids at home a year or so longer than most, so you can be sure they're cooked all the way through. What I found out, you want to know what I found out in college? I found out that what I was really interested in way more than school was alcohol, drugs, and sex. I threw myself wholeheartedly into the first two, and any failures in the third were due only to a lack of opportunity. It's a little embarrassing to admit that as a member of Gen X, the most oversexed generation of history, coming as we did between the sexual revolution and the rise of STDs that were incurable, fatal, or both. In any event, I just note that there were certainly plenty of women at Mercer ready and willing to have sex, just not with me. Where was I? Okay, the drugs and alcohol. I found that there were three things I really wanted in life, that at least I could easily manage, which were to get drunk, to get high, and to sleep late and not go to class. I was fortunate that all three of those kind of go together quite well without any redundancy of effort. Sort of, it was kind of a two birds with one stone kind of thing. Not that I was happy by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, I had found my niche, as it were. Now, the Buddha taught that desire is the root of all suffering, and that contentment can only be found in freeing the mind from desire and accepting things as they are and experiencing each moment with neither craving nor aversion. That was not the route I took. I got driven off the road by reality in the form of a 1.5 GPA, academic probation, and my parents letting me know that they would really rather literally burn money than spend any more of it on my college education. At least if they burned it, they could cook something or warm their hands and actually get some use out of it. And finally, the dean of students suggesting to me that we both stop wasting each other's time. So I found myself at a crossroads, as one does, out of school, cut off, and unemployed. It was clearly time for me to sober up and get my shit together. And I did. And I discovered I didn't like that at all. And I went right back down the rabbit hole for a while. But not forever. Because here's the thing. I did go out and I got a job. I cleaned myself up, saved up my money, and I got myself back in school. First at a junior college, and then back at Mercer. I sobered up, I graduated, and I went to law school. I could sit here and tell you that I had some sort of sudden epiphany, or that I grew up under the stress, or that I found, you know, some deep reserve of willpower in myself. I could, but it'd be bullshit. So here's the thing, folks. Never underestimate, ever, the motivating power of shame, humiliation, and embarrassment. I didn't pick myself up and get on the right track because I developed some sudden sense of ambition and maturity. I did it because I was frankly ashamed to look people who had known me and seen the potential in me in the eye and admit where I'd gotten myself. Pride may go with before a fall, but it also go with before picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and getting your shit together. That's not particularly inspiring, I know, but the hard reality is that I just couldn't bear the thought that people were laughing at me, shaking my hands, and thinking, what an asshole. Well, okay, let me be clear. People look at me all the time and think, what an asshole, which is fine because I am an asshole a lot of time, but I'm not a failure asshole, if you get what I'm saying. So the real lesson here, and I'm going to keep this short tonight, the real lesson here there is no lesson here. And there's no tidbits of wisdom or valuable experience or anything like that I'm sharing with you. But y'all are the ones with nothing better to do on a Tuesday than to sit and stare at your laptop and watch people tell stories. So I really don't think I could help you.
Hashtag say thank you here.
So thank y'all. That's my story tonight.
Awesome, Kevin.